us continue with the topic. Now we have discussed about the definitions of values, attitude and behavior. Now we will discuss about the types of value systems. Now there are four types of value systems, and the first one is individual value systems. Now in this individual value system, what comes under? Right, your family, right, your education, right, your religion, your society, all comes under this individual value system. So I'm writing one example here for your convenience, right? And the second type of value system is work specific value system, right? Work specific value system. Now these terms are self-explanatory for you. Now what is work specific value system? Now specific requirement of any work is nothing but your work specific value system. Specific requirements, right? Now which guides you or make you to use these values is nothing but your work specific value system. Now any examples for this? Yes, your public service is nothing but work specific value system. I'll write down the example here, right? Your public service. Now see here, this ethics topic, you can understand it easily with an examples. Definitions are vague and are contemporary with the English, right? Now the next type of value system is country specific value system. Right, all these terms are self-explanatory. Now I think you can decode this country specific value system, right? Requirement of any country, right, guides to make their values. Am I right or wrong? Requirement of specific country guide you to make that value systems, right? Now the last type of value system is universal value system. Universal value system, right? Now what this universal value system says? The values which are acceptable to all the individuals, to all the societies and to all the countries are nothing but universal value systems. Now see here, these values will not change with respect to home, place, and these are universal. Now got the point? Now these are accepted by all. Now I'll write down the crux point. Accepted by all. Now this is called your universal value system, right? Now apart from this universal value system which are constant at all places, now let us speak about the remaining value systems. Are they constant? No, they are not constant. Values are not constant, right? Now see here, values except universal value system, they are not constant. And these values change with reference to time, and change with reference to the place, and change with reference to the ecosystem. Am I right or wrong? Yes, except the universal values, right? Now values are accepted or rejected by any society based on three factors. Now why these values are accepted and why these values are rejected? Now these will be dependent on three factors. The first one is purposiveness, right? And the second one is deliberateness, right? And the third one is rationality. these are the three factors that affect the acceptance or rejectance of your values. Now what is this purposiveness? Purposiveness is nothing but utilization, right? Utility, how you utilize the values, right? Deliberateness means what will be the reach of value, right? When you say a term, you will discuss about the reach of the term, right? Reach of the value. There is a saying in English, you must not stay at a place where you don't have value. This is nothing but your deliberateness, right? Rationality, which is nothing but your logic. Will that logic work down at that place? You have to check that, right? Now, an important note here. If any new value is being accepted by any society, then the order of importance of these three factors will change. Then the order of importance of these three factors will change, right? Now, see here. If any new value is accepted by any society, right? When a new value is accepted by the society, then the order will be what? Now I will give the numbers to them, right? Now purposiveness is 1, deliberateness is 2, and rationality is 3. Now I'll give the numbers there, right? Now order of importance, first you will look upon their purposiveness, next you will look upon their reach of value, right? Then you will look upon their logic, right? Now these are the factors of order of importance, right? So sorry, I have missed out one point here. Now see here, the order of acceptance of this of the values in a society depends upon, first is utility and second one is logic, right? And the last one is your reach of value, right? Now this is the order, right? Correct it. Now when a new value is rejected in a society, then what will be the order of importance of these factors, right? Already we have discussed this, acceptance or rejectance depend upon these factors. Now reach of value, your deliberateness will be taken the first factor, your utility will be taken as second order of importance, and your logic will be taken as third importance. Now this is the order of importance, right? This is called order of importance. Now once it was asked, that's why I am focusing on this, right? Order of importance. Now see here, and the questions in the examination might not be the direct statements given in the topic itself. It might be the extract, it might be the summary of the given statement, it might be the exact meaning that depicts the definition. You have to focus on that, right? Next, let us discuss about this universal value systems in detail, right? Universal value systems. Now what are these universal values, and let us discuss about this. The first one what we will discuss in universal values is trustworthiness. Trustworthiness, right? Now what is this trustworthiness? It is defined as the ability to predict the future behavior of any individual or an organization, right? Now it is defined as the ability to predict, I'll write down the crux point, predict the future behavior, of an individual or an organization is called trustworthiness. Now again, there are 4 sub values of this trustworthiness. The first one is honesty. There are 4 sub values in this trustworthiness. Now the first one is honesty. Right? Now, where you look upon this honesty, think in a general manner. Your honesty in communication, right? And your honesty in action. Now, you look upon the honesty in communication. Right? You look upon the honesty in action. Right? Now, what is this honesty in communication? It is nothing but how open you are, how much truth you are speaking, right? It is nothing but not to hide any communication, right? Not to hide any communication. Now got the point? Now what is this honesty of action? It is nothing but behaving in an generous way, right? In an gratitudinal way, means not to cheat. This is the crux here. Not to cheat, right? Now the second sub value in trustworthiness is integrity. Now all these terms are very important, right? Focus on this. Integrity. Now what is this integrity? Integrity will be dependent upon your financial integrity and also your intellectual integrity. Your intellectual factor and your financial factor. Right? Now this is also a value of trustworthiness. Now what is this intellectual integrity and how you define this? Now intellectual integrity is defined by when an individual is making any statement or doing any action, then these two should be constant with respect to the time and place, right? It refers to the consistency in approach, right? Now this is the thing. Now see here, I'll crux down the point. What is intellectual integrity? Right? Now when any individual makes any statement or doing any action, right, then this statement or action must be constant. Now this statement, speaking, right, or his action must be constant with respect to time and place. With respect to time and place, right? This is the count. Now in short, what you say is it refers to the continuity, consistency in the approach. Consistency. Right? In short, you call intellectual integrity as consistency in approach. Now what is financial integrity? It is defined as not to use the public post for financial benefits for yourself or for your family, right? Not to use your public post for monetary benefits. Financial means money, right? Monetary benefits for yourself or for your family. Now, this is called financial integrity. Right? Now the next one, the third one, sub value of trustworthiness is reliability. what is this reliability, right? It is defined as ability to upkeep the promise, right? It is defined as ability to upkeep the promise. Right, now this is called reliability. Now the fourth one is loyalty. Now see here, every factor is very important. I am giving definitions for each and everything. See, there will be slight nuances between the definitions. You have to focus on this. Now loyalty is defined as promotion or saving of interest of any individual or any organization beyond your normal obligation, right? It is defined as protection or promotion of interest of individual or an organization beyond normal obligation, right? Beyond your stretch, you have to save the interest of your organization or interest of a person who trusts you, right? This is the case. And these are the four sub values under trustworthiness. Now for public servant, loyalty towards the state is very important, right? Now upon the four subclauses, for a public servant, loyalty must be at highest grade, right? Towards the organization, towards the society, right? Now loyalty is a larger term than reliability. Now after trustworthiness, right, your universal values, first one we have discussed about trustworthiness. The next universal value what we will discuss is respect. Now what is respect? It is defined as appreciating the existence of others, right? Now it is defined as appreciation, right, the existence of, see, all the terms might be look same but definitions are different. Appreciation the existence of others or appreciating, right? Now see here, this respect is of again different types. Now one is dignity, one is civility or humility, sometimes you call it as, and the third one is tolerance, right? Now respect can be of three following types. The first one is dignity, right? Now what is this dignity? Dignity is nothing but appreciating the existence of others as well as self-respect. Now this is called dignity. Now see here, appreciation of existence of others and self-respect. Self-respect is nothing but your dignity, right? Respect definition is only the first statement. Got the point now? The difference between this. Now the second type of respect what you learn is civility or humility. Civility or humility. Now this is nothing but you have to follow civil virtues, I mean decorum. Follow civil virtues, dress code, right? and decorum, how to behave with the others, right, in a positive manner. This is nothing but civility or humility. And the next one is tolerance. Third type of respect is, now tolerance is defined as having the permissive attitude towards diverse opinions and ability to include these diversities into decision making. Now this is called tolerance. Now see here, you have to focus on this. Previous year's IAS question was this: what are the statements regarding tolerance? Right, now I'll write a full definition. Right, it is defined as having permissive attitude. Permissive means allowing, right, obeying or taking off. Permissive attitude towards diverse views and ability to include these diverse views, let us DV, into decision making. Now this is called tolerance. Right, now see here, see me an example for tolerance. India is most tolerant because India is a secular country, right? All types of religions are treated equally in India, right? See here, and again, what is secularism? Is defined as giving equal importance to all religions. This is what we are speaking, and same time being equidistant from all, right? So giving space to others is nothing but tolerance. Right, now after respect, the third universal values what you have to learn is responsibility. Responsibility. Now what is responsibility? It is defined as fulfilling the expectation of any society by defining the role. Right, now see here, this responsibility comes within the person, right? It has to be in the nature. Now see here, I'll write down the definition here. Responsibility is defined as fulfilling the expectation of any society is nothing but your responsibility. Now how to fulfill? You have to define a role for yourself in order to fulfill the expectations. Now this responsibility is nothing but your innate feature, right? It comes within, right? And these responsibilities will be of different types. Right, now the one is accountability and the next one is pursuit of excellence. Now this responsibility is of two types. One is accountability. Right, now what is this accountability? It is defined as answerability of any action performed by any individual or organization. Now this is called accountability. Right, accountability is defined as answerability. I'll write on the crux point. answerability of any action performed by an individual or an organization. Now, the second type in responsibility is pursuit of excellence. Now, the term is self-explanatory, right? What is pursuit of excellence? It is defined as continuous improvement and perseverance, right? Now, learning something more, right? Right. Now, how I define this? This is defined as continuous improvement or continuous perseverance means taking the knowledge, right? Imbibing the knowledge, continuous improvement, and perceiving the knowledge. I'll write it as perseverance. Perseverance is nothing but taking of knowledge, right? Intake of knowledge, more and more knowledge. Now, the next universal value that you have to discuss is fairness and justice. Now, what is this fairness and justice? Now, see here, already we have discussed about this fairness and justice. It is defined as all equals are treated equally and all unequals are treated unequally. Now, we have seen the same thing in ethics topic, right? The four approaches: utilitarian approaches, common approach, right, and fairness and justice approach. Right. Now, this is nothing but your fairness and justice approach. All equals must be treated equally. Now, this is the concept here. All unequals must be treated unequally. This is nothing but fairness and justice approach. Right. Example, already we have discussed about this reservations, your salary of CEO and the employees, right? What the point? Now see here, already I have discussed an example that train reservation. If you reserve a seat, then automatically you will be treated separately. An unreserved candidate in a train will be treated separately. You will be allotted a seat, but he will not be allotted. The same concept what we discussed there, right? Focus on this. Now see how ethics and values are connected, right? The next universal value, which is nothing but care. Care. Now what is care? Now see here, this care is explained by a schematic approach. Now see here, I'll write the schema here. First one is sympathy. Now this is purely HR topic. Focus on the things, right? Next, sympathy comes after. After sympathy it will be empathy. Now empathy after compassion. Now I'll explain this, right? Now these are the three values of care, which is nothing but sympathy, empathy and compassion, right? Now sympathy is defined as spontaneous kindness. Spontaneous kindness. Right. Now what is empathy defined as? Right. Empathy is defined as feeling of pain or emotion. Now, these are the three types of care, right? Feeling of pain or emotion, right? Now, this is empathy. Now what is compassion? Now compassion is nothing but it is showing empathy in action, right? Compassion is nothing but showing empathy in action, means feeling the pain by doing action, right? Showing empathy in action, right? Now what you say in total, compassion is nothing but equal to empathy plus action, right? I think got the point clearly here. Done. Now this is nothing but care. Now the last universal value what we will discuss is citizenship. Now what is this citizenship, right? Now this citizenship contains rights, duties, mechanism to protect the rights and enforce the duties, right? Now see here, this citizenship contains rights, duties, now and their mechanism to save your rights and the enforce duties comes under citizenship, right? Now for example, for residents in India, there will be protection from the country, right? And there will be some duties discharged by the country for the citizens. Now this is nothing but your citizenship rights. Now what is the difference between resident and citizen? What is the difference between resident and citizen? Now see here, the difference between resident and citizen is mechanism to protect the rights, right? Now for a citizen there is a mechanism for protection of rights. For resident there is no mechanism for protect. Residents is nothing but refugees who come from the other country. There is no such mechanism to save them, right? Now you got the point. Done. Thank you.